First of all, would you lift your shoulders up? Would you pull them backwards? And then when you lower the shoulder, the outside edge is going to align with the outside edge of your hip. Do it really slowly. You lift, you pull back, and then you align. So if your chest's pulling a little bit, let it pull. It's fine. This is its natural position. Shoulders directly over the hips is where you should live. Okay. And you're breathing in and out through your nose. You're not trying to fill the abdomen. You're just breathing whatever's good for you. So the air passes through your nostrils. Wash the sinuses. So you've got sinuses behind the eyes, behind the forehead, behind the cheeks, behind the bridge of the nose, inside your face there. So it's like the air just washes through it. Don't spend too long on that. Just it passes through that area, sort of cleaning out the sinuses. So you have to relax inside your face, in effect. And of course, the air goes into your lungs. It's absolutely fine. Let it go to the top of the lungs, the middle of the lungs, wherever it wants to go. But what you start to do is be conscious of the top of your diaphragm. So your diaphragm is here. Roughly speaking, it's you've got to put a finger there and you've got a little pointy bone called the xiphoid process there. So roughly speaking, your diaphragm hoops over at this height. So when you breathe in, you feel like the air is just gently resting on the top of the diaphragm. Yeah, and then you breathe out whenever. Don't hold it. Don't do anything like that. There's no holding of breath. Okay, so just keep going and just watch me. So here's your diaphragm, but the diaphragm it drops down, and so do the lungs. The lungs go down and then up and round. They don't go across on a straight line. They've got these dips there which fit in with the diaphragm. So the breath goes in through the nose, washes the sinuses, just rests on the diaphragm, and then it slips off it left and right into those two lower cavities of the lungs. Okay, so that's that. So that's the input, that's the breathing in process. And what you'll actually eventually find is, because if your breathing relaxes more, your diaphragm will actually start to compress very slightly. If you force it to do it, you're just putting stress into the body, really. It is actually quite a natural process. The same way you were born breathing, as a baby. When you were born, you breathed from here automatically. You didn't breathe from here. You use the lungs, obviously, but a baby's stomach goes up and down as it breathes. So we're after an expansion of the stomach, but not you forcing it. And if you just practice this sort of very simple breathing here and let it sink into the lower lobes of the lungs, you'll find that your abdomen starts gradually to expand more and more. And you feel as though your abdomen, is just expanding a little bit. Don't force it out. You're not meant to get a big Buddha belly or something. It's not the point. Yeah. Okay, so then you come to the out breath. Now, on the out breath, the most important thing is that you completely let everything settle. Really let it settle. So the air's leaving the lungs, and when you breathe out, just let everything go. Make your whole body feel quite heavy on the chair. Relax your neck, but let the whole body feel heavy. So when you do that, just keep doing it. And it takes a bit of practice perhaps to feel this, but when you do that, you'll find that the abdomen, having expanded on the in-breath slightly, will just contract very naturally and softly on the out-breath. Yeah. That's the basis to abdominal breathing. I mean, that is really the basics of it. We're not forcing anything, we're letting it happen. Now, we've got a couple of minutes, as quickly, and we have to do this quickly, unfortunately, because of time. But if you want to do reverse breathing, what you do is, I'm going to give you a little bit of this. So here, between the genitals and the anus, you've got that muscle, the perineum, okay, the one near your pelvic floor. And as you breathe in, you're actually going to lift that muscle up. Put a bit of you shouldn't really make much effort on this at all, but I want you to put a bit of effort in, like you're stopping yourself peeing mid-flow or something. Well, for men, somebody said women don't do that, but I'm not sure. So anyway, we're going to go there another time. So you're breathing in, wash the sinuses, you've hit here, and then you're lifting up here underneath. You're pulling up your pelvic floor on the in-breath. And then on the out-breath, just release it. Let it go. Completely let it go. So the in-breath, you're pulling up and the breath's going in. And on the out-breath, just totally let it go and release. Now, just keep doing it. And let me just talk for a second over this. So as you pull up here, the breath is going down. You get this compression going on. Your abdomen actually, instead of expanding, will contract slightly. Yeah. And when you breathe out, it actually just lets go and it goes back to where it is, where it normally lives. So it feels a bit like, instead of the breath expanding, as in abdominal breathing, expanding here, it feels like the whole thing is contracting on the in-breath, and the whole process is reversed, thus the name, reverse breathing. So on the in-breath, you pull up on the pelvic floor, you actually pull here in as well. 1.5 inches below your tummy button, not the tummy button, 1.5 inches below. As you lift here, you pull the front in as well. So you can put a bit of an effort into it. You shouldn't do, but for the moment, do it so you can feel it. On the in-breath, those two, the front comes in and the bottom lifts. And then you just breathe out and completely let go. And you do the same thing on the out-breath. You let everything settle. So this is reverse breathing, and you use reverse breathing all the time, perhaps even without knowing it. Every time you have to do something which involves, say, pushing an object, a table or a bit of furniture or anything, whatever, car, not the one that it does these days, but your car's stuck in the ice or in mud or something, and you want to push it out. Well, what you would naturally do is you would do reverse breathing. That would be you wouldn't do abdominal breathing. You absolutely would not do abdominal breathing to something that requires a real push away from there.